At any moment in a mod severe disability class, there can be violence. Oftentimes, you can see it coming and know the triggers for certain students, but many times a student will go 0 to 100 in a snap. It's a scary moment, especially when you have multiple students in a room at the same time and they all set one another off, and you have multiple students going at 100. These moments are priceless, as first and foremost, safety is taken into consideration. But also when you fade the lens back and take everything happening at once, it's definitely a surreal moment. You can have loud yelling, self-abuse, head banging, chairs flying through the room, desks being flipped, computer screens being bashed in, computer keyboards being slammed and the buttons flying around like popcorn kernels in a microwave, to who knows what. You name it and it could happen. And these moments, specific strategies need to be put in place in order to effectively manage the situation and keep everyone safe. Hence, the Side Blitz came about. One day in class, Jimmy has done some real damage and definitely left a name for himself in the school district. Upon entering high school, Jimmy carried with him a reputation of biting students. This came to fruition as a few months into his freshman year, multiple staff members were sent to the ER to be checked out for bites that drew blood. At any moment, Jimmy can snap, and either humans are the target or property. Jimmy has successfully taken out multiple computers, kicked an entire wall down, exposing copper water pipes, and broken just about everything you can think of in the room, except the smartboard. Jimmy has always tried his best to rip the smartboard off the wall that is held by 12 screws into a 2x4. It literally doesn't move. This has been a work in progress for a little over a year, and finally, all his hard work paid off. Jimmy came in hot one morning for no particular reason other than he was tired and woken up too early. The school day is pretty long for Jimmy, and if we make it through the day with no severe behaviors, it was a success. Jimmy came in normal, and after a minute I could see something was off, as he was pacing the room with certain hum coming out of his mouth. The hum is distinct, and we know what it means. Side Blitz needs to be put into full motion. Within this play, a zone defense unfolds as 2 aides are responsible to move 3 students out of the room. 2 other aides are responsible to barricade the corner of the room with computers, with desks blocking them off, allowing no access point to break computers. I am responsible to keep eyes on Jimmy and remove everything in sight and toss over to the 2 aides barricaded in with desks. I am the lone sitting duck, being Jimmy's only real human target. I know Jimmy pretty well, and I can see his moves before he relaxes, allowing me ample time to retreat to safety. Side Blitz is working to a T, as Jimmy is not allowed any human or object to break. All Jimmy has is access to the back break room, where he can regulate his emotions. The break room is working for a little while, but Jimmy is not satisfied. The rage needs to be handled, and the smartboard takes the attack. In a behavior to this degree, we sacrifice property over humans. So I don't intervene, and I let Jimmy do his thing. It's either the smartboard or me, and I give him the smartboard. He punches, pulls, kicks, punches, sniffs, punches some more. After about a minute, he decides to give it a rest and puts himself back in the break room. Typically, to most of his behaviors towards the end, tears start to flow, as Jimmy knows what he has done is not appropriate for class. Usually, once the tears come, the behavior has reached its end. Not so fast. Jimmy comes running out and half sprint, throws a haymaker to the smartboard. The board gives away a little bit, and this is just what Jimmy needs. He yanks a few times, and the smartboard comes crashing down. A year's work finally paid off. And once the board hits the ground, Jimmy runs to the break room, and 5 minutes later comes out saying, "Happy, happy, happy." To Jimmy's credit, he only says happy when he means it. And in this moment, he really meant it. As with every severe behavior, we sit down as a team, talk about how we could have better handled the situation. For this one, we came to the conclusion that Side Blitz was implemented perfectly. Everyone came out safe, and the zones allowed no room for injury. The students were evacuated, the important property came out alive, and nobody was injured. The timing of the zone defense came about very quickly and efficiently, as everyone knew their roles.